Next in the tank is a retard fantasy football addict who wants the Sharks to invest in his team. Let's see how this plays out, Cotton.
Sharks, my name is Matt Harrison. I'm the founder of the DynasTangy Fantasy Football League, and I'm also the owner of the Serial Vapist Fantasy Football Club. And I'm here asking for your support, 10% ownership in my team. I need $50,000 fab and a wide receiver one.
$50,000 is not a small amount of money.
I'm here to make money.
Let him finish, Kev.
So a few weeks ago, I made a couple trades. I was able to get Cooper Kupp, but he got injured. Me and Andy made a fantasy football trade. I got Kelce and Olave and Zeke for DK Metcalf, Sanders, and Schultz. It was a fair trade.
He already sold out his friends, and now he's trying to get you to invest.
Kevin, do you want to trade? Kevin, I'll trade you right now A.J. Dillon and Zay Jones. I just need a player that I could start. They're good players.
Are you serious? He's an idiot. He's a con artist.
Mark, please. Cooper Kupp's coming back by the playoffs. If I trade you Zay Jones and Cooper Kupp, can I just get like DK Metcalf or somebody? Like, dude, your team's already gonna win.
You. We're all out.
Sharks, I swear to fucking God, if you don't give me any players.
Whoa, easy.
You're a get the out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Oh! Won't want to be ya. I'm telling you, whether it was you or me or Robert or one of us, he was going to do that to somebody. It just happened to be you or the last guy.
I realize he's a gold digger.
He's an idiot. He's a con artist.
Kevin, don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
Holy fuck, my butthole. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, my butthole. These Sharks, man. They're crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matty might have found his running backs. Haha.
Taking battle stations, I ain't on vacation. I'm just glowing up, living out aspirations. I beat the expectations and change the generations. And I'm still jumping fences, and you're just imitation. They're all in second places, but I don't live for praises. I play this life like a game, levels and stages. Let me paraphrases, then do a couple pages. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Let me introduce you to a brand new thing. No one gonna prove to. You're looking at the king. This life may choose you, so raise your wings. Watch this, watch this, watch this. This is a brand new thing. They've been calling me mad for 20 years, but it takes a little crazy when you face some fears. No matter what you do, it never ever disappears. But I keep fighting like LeBron James Cavaliers. Just took another bite for the kid. Just did another one for the thrill.
Gang, bang, bang. Episode 12, DynasTangy Podcast. We back, boys. We back. Let's start off right away, and let's get this right across, all right? We got ourselves a Mitch. We got ourselves a James. We got ourselves a quitter. James officially quit earlier today. I watched him go through our matchups, and he was pretending like, and I mean pretending like, he was like, whoa, Matt, you did really good this week. That's crazy. And, oh, man, I wonder how I finished. I don't buy it for 1 second. Maybe he deleted the app, maybe not. We're going to have him talk about it later after the matchups, before the stats. So let's get started right away. News and notes. Right off, let's just talk real quick about this. The playoff race is hot and it's very tight. It is like a Puerto Rican hooker. Anything can happen, and it's a very, very close race. I would love to absolutely blow my load this week against Max, aka the 2-time, get the dub, but we all know that at the end of the day, we're all about 1 to 2 games off. Ben, congrats, secured playoff position, third most points for, guaranteed a playoff spot, and probably about, I would say about 80% that he gets a bye at this point. He'd have to lose out, and we'd have to have, I think, 2 teams win out for him to not get a bye because it's the top 2. So Ben, congratulations. Look, this was a crazy week. We all saw what happened. I want to address Cluzy about the trade rape allegations and the bailouts, and I just like to say, pot calling the kettle black, brother. I mean, you've got 2 chips, and guaranteed 1 was because of the Beej Sanders bailout. We all remember it, 2020. And if you want to call yourself a 2-time, then I think you got to think about the trade I made with Andy is a pretty fair trade. Everyone said that the trade last year with him was rape. Everyone called your trades rape. But at the end of the day, a trade is a trade. It was two willing parties. And look, you have to have a winner and a loser in a trade. And it just so happened that last week I won. It could very well come down to the fact that Andy gets in the playoffs and wins because of our trade, because maybe DK blows up and, fucking his tight end Dalton Schultz gets a better game. So I'm just going to leave it at that, all right? No trade rape. I will provide proof, text message proof right here. Scroll it on the screen. You can see right here that not only was the trade partially initiated by Andy, but it was actually back and forth, and we came to a conclusion. He had other trades open, and he chose mine. So think of it as you want, but boo-hoo, all right? Boo fucking who. Let's get into the matchups. So last week was a barn burner. We had a ton of 5-5 teams and 4-5 teams play each other. Matchup 1, we had the Quitter versus Reading God, a.k.a. 2-time. James clearly forgot to set his lineup here because everyone knows he should have started Jamal. Had he done that, I think he might have won. It would have been very close. Maybe not. I don't care. I'd like to think that he did, but apparently he was too busy grinding for the expansion. James, I played the expansion so far, the pre-patch, and let me just tell you, I don't know how much work it really is. I mean, I'm just killing fucking dudes that pop up, elementals. I get the things. That's it. It's pretty straightforward. Whatever. Besides the point, Max, congratulations on your dub. 89 to 108 or something like that. Close enough. I can't see from here. Matchup 2.
We've got Matt versus Ryan. Matt got a 175 to Ryan's 84. Let's see who popped off. Devontae Adams for 30 points. Ooh, Najee finally showing up, actually, running the ball. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, that was the acquired from Max. Travis Kelce, acquired from Andy. But Elliott also popping up 17 points for you. That's pretty good. Yep. Chris, another 19. Let's see here. Ryan, I'm just going to put it this way. Your kicker boned you. The -2 points, that's pretty rough. You never want to be on the downside of a doubling points scenario here. And unfortunately, Matt doubled your points. That is embarrassing. I guess I can't talk too much because I only scored like 3 more points than you, but at least Max didn't double my points. So moving on to matchup 3.
Talk about a hole-in-one. Happy might have learned how to putt. I got running back scoring, I got wide receiver scoring, I got tight end scoring, I got quarterback scoring. Oh boy, Donnie. It sucks that it had to be against you though, because I was rooting for you in general. Obviously not last week. Now we're at matchup 3. The Shaver Street Bandit, a.k.a. McNasty, a.k.a. trade partner, versus lifelong Bengals fan. Sean was very close to coming back in this matchup. He had his boy Hopkins. He had his boy Kittle. Great Monday night appearances. But Andy's team was just even, and they all scored except for Dalton Schultz, which is surprising because I thought he was going to be really good the rest of the season. Crazy. But the rest of his team scored great, and Daniel Jones absolutely pooped on you, and Saquon pooped on you. So if the roles were reversed and Saquon didn't get his one touchdown vultured by Daniel Jones, you would have won. That's unfortunate. With a score of 116 to 109, Andy took the dub. Andy, nice trade. I think that might have helped you this week. Maybe not. I don't know. Matchup 4, we've got Eskimo, a.k.a. Matt Top, James Bottom, versus Eric. Welcome back, Casey. Finally a good game. We've been waiting 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks maybe for a game for you to put up over like 105. Garoppolo had a good game. Singletary had a good game. Diggs had an okay game. You got fucked by Mike Williams. Sorry to hear that. And Cooper just blew up. Landry had a nice game. So, yeah. And at the end of the day, for Eric, his team pretty much sucks. Kind of a bye week situation here. With a score of 135 to 96, Casey took the dub, and that was big. Needed it for potential playoff run. Matchup 5, we've got Beej Clancy, a.k.a. Beej Sanders, a.k.a. Loves giving bailouts. Shout out Max's 3 wins on those trades. Versus Eric KKK. Ben, clearly not a racist. Love to see it. Unfortunately, Justin Fields got hurt. That could be a sticky situation moving forward. Rest of your team put up solid points. You were able to get the dub. This was a very low-scoring game between the two of you. Eric was very close. And let me just say here, the whole each of you choosing to not play kickers, little fishy, little fishy. Clearly, you both have good kickers. You didn't want to drop them. You didn't have anyone else to drop. Little tinge of collusion on that. You should be having to drop players to have a full starting roster. I'll leave that to the commissioner, though, with a score of 91 to 76. Ben took the dub. Justin Jeffy had a bad game. And we've got matchup 6. Icebox, a.k.a. Saltbox, who doesn't watch the podcast anymore. So, Scott, eat my dick, lick my butthole, your mom's a whore, versus JBay1001. We were all rooting for him. He's Green Bay's sweetheart. You love to see it. He got the dub on the back of a Dak Prescott good game. T. Higgins, good game. Devonta Smith, decent game. Tyler Bass, absolutely kicking yo ass, Scott. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Your team's looking okay. It barely lost. You would have won against a lot of games this week, so I'm not going to shit on your team too much. But if Lamar Jackson doesn't pick it up, you're in a world of hurt right now, and you're looking like it's going to be you might be barely squeaking into the playoffs. But with a score of 110 to 113, 114 technically because the rounding up. John took the dub. Congrats. That was the matchups. And now we're going to quickly bring it over to James so he can explain himself on why he decided to quit, because I don't like it. So, James, take it away.
My fellow Americans, speaking to you, the blue-collar guys, just, trying to make it by, the trading, the advantage taking, the crying wolf, but saying you don't see the wolf scenario that's been happening. A few of you, you know who you are. It gets to be too much for a guy. And, when a season starts slipping away and you got that nice sun starting to rise on the other coast, a.k.a. new video game coming out, that only comes every 2 years. You can only take so much. And with that, there was, just one comment, I was going to squeeze it out, watch the rest of this week, continue to be, as is until Monday, end of the trade day. Then Scott hit me with a Pollard talk. Scott, I love my boys. I would never say Pollard is garbage. In fact, a lot of these Green Bay boys up here, I bet they wish that they had a Pollard instead of a Dillon. I bet you they wish they had, I don't know, whoever their practice squad person is currently right now, over Dillon. So that was just, the last little sprinkling of salt on the wound that led to me just saying, you know what, it's redraft. We'll figure it out next year. So until then, we are still dedicated to doing the podcast. We got some stuff a-brewing for next year. And possibly a new host. Okay, not really a new host because none of you guys have gotten back to us about the job opening, but, hey, it is what it is. So with that, back to Matt.
Matt back. And let me just say, that was all bullshit. James, get back in chat, start talking shit, get those numbies up, set your lineup. You're fucking one game back. It ain't over till the hey, Randy Marsh right now. I'm looking at you, James, which technically you're behind me, but I'm looking at the camera. What did Randy Marsh say? What did he say? He said, I thought this was America, and I didn't hear no bell.
Hey, Bat Dad. I didn't hear no bell.
Holy shit!
I'm the best around. The best around.
Dominating! Ultra kill.
I didn't hear no bell. Your team's only one game back. You win this week, you're at 5 wins. You win another game, your points for could carry you into the playoffs, and there's still a chance to win. Clearly, trading's over. I want to see that lineup set. I want to see some trash talk in the chat. Look, at the end of the day, it's just fantasy football. We're having fun. But you only have to you just talk and chat during work. You can't play WoW during work. And then you set your lineup for 20, 30 minutes. You just kind of do a little dirt, good to go. All right, now we'll go back to James with the stats, and then we'll hit with the power rankings and get the fuck out of here.
I'm the stat man. All right, let's get into your weekly stats. Looking at the weekly standings, we see Beej on top with 8 wins. It would be hard for him to lose that playoff spot. Meanwhile, we have a 5-way tie for 2nd place through 6th place, and a 4-way tie for 7th place through 10th place. All in all, the worst teams are only 2 games behind, which means really anyone is in playoff contention still. Looking at the alternate league rankings with the median, there would be even more of a divide in the league. Max and Andy would currently not hold playoff spots, while Matt and Sean would both for sure be in. Andy does plummet with a median ranking, going from tied for 2nd all the way to 10th place. Andy, you got those dubs though, and don't let those median lover boys try getting you down saying that you got lucky with your matchup wins. Looking at the average points for, we have a little bit of a shift around the middle of the pack area, but nothing too crazy. We still haven't all averaged over 100 points yet. Eric, with the better spelling, was only about half a point behind, making us all those triple-digit averages. As we look at the weekly luck, we can see that Ben was the most lucky as he won with sub 100 points this week. Scott, on the flip side of that, was the most unlucky as he would have beat almost half the league if he would have played anyone else in his matchup this week. For the season luck, we are honestly pretty even. I hate saying that because I have a pretty large negative number next to my name, but at least I have company down here as Sean and Matt are also living the life hard knock style. For the weekly chat, we decreased by 107 messages. I have had the biggest loss this week in chatting by dropping yet another 137 messages from the week prior, which was already a decrease from normal. Scott tried picking up the slack though by increasing his chattiness by 127 messages from last week. The season chat percentages show me holding 26% of the league's total messages this season, Sean holding 25, Scott with 14, Matt with 13. Andy, John, Ryan, and Erich all are sub 1%, and the rest of the league is between that 1% and 10% of the share of season messages. That has been your weekly Analytics powered by Dix. Let's kick it back over to Matt.
Oh yeah, baby. This week's power rankings will have you feeling some serious power somewhere. Viewer discretion is advised. Bonk City bitch. Bonk City bitch.
Power rankings with Matty Ice. We're keeping this short. We're keeping this sweet, like a tasty little treat. Coming in at number 12, we have Eric's team. Total trash. Last week he was number 12 as well. Eric's team's booty. There's nothing much to say. I don't know who plays them for the rest of the season, but I consider it a bye week rest of the season. And that's just how she fucking rolls. Eric, will miss you. Coming in at number 11. This may be a surprise to you, boys, but we are bringing Donnie's team back down to life. Look, he just hasn't performed. Low points for. It's pretty obvious. I don't want to talk down on his team, but at the end of the day, when you only have 4 wins, and I'm not going to say much because I only have 5, so it doesn't mean that much, but it just, the team hasn't performed. It just hasn't. Your team looks so fucking good, but it just doesn't perform. So from last week, you were ranked 7. This week, you're ranked 11. We'll see how you do this following week, but I have a feeling you're kind of packing it in at this point. I don't blame you. Coming in at rank 10, we have Scott's team. Same as last week. Look, Scott's team didn't show him anything new. It's an okay team. There's just not a lot of depth. The running backs are okay. The wide receivers are okay. And the name value of your quarterback's great, but he's been worse than Daniel Jones. So what can I say? Yeah. Coming in at rank 9, we have Andy's team. Andy, your team should be better. You did decent this week, but I just don't trust your team long term. We will see, but your wide receivers aren't great. Your tight end is solid because it's Dalton Schultz, and you have solid running backs. Something about your team just doesn't feel like it's stable enough to be a top 8 team. Coming in at rank 8, we have Max's team. Max, I love you, I love you, I love you. You did decent last week. It was on the back of Tony Pollard having a career game. But I could be proven wrong. I just think Pollard might be a little boomer or busty. And I love busty. You know I do, but not on my fantasy football team. Your team will show if it's a top 6 team or not this week. If you put up 2 weeks in a row good, I'm throwing you in the top 6. Coming in at 7, we have James's team. 2 weeks of pretty okay performance. Hasn't shown it on the battlefield. He's clearly given up. It's hard for me to rank him as a top 6 team. We will see this week. This week is a big game. He wins this week. He gets to 5. He might shoot up the ladder to 8 or even potentially 7. I don't know. If that happens, he's in the playoff hunt, and his team's looking okay. Coming in at rank 6, we have Casey's team. Casey, last week, great performance. I don't trust your team moving forward, but if Devin Singletary continues to play well, I think you have a pretty good team. And it's been rough for the past few weeks, so that's why you're not higher, even though last week you had a good game. And we will see how you do for the rest of the season. Coming in at rank 5, we have John's team. John J. love you, Green Bay sweetheart. You had a good game last week. You've been very steady all year, and I think you're a playoff team. I'm not super worried about your team with Jamar Chase coming back, but I guess when you look at it that way, you have Nick Chubb, and Monty is pretty much by himself in that backfield now. Prescott's been playing solid. We will see. Last week they scored like 40 points, though, and Prescott only had 20. So I think there's a little bit of a ceiling with your quarterback, but he's going to be steady. Coming in at rank 4, we have Eric's team with a K, a.k.a. Racist. Just overall solid team. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's really, really solid. CMC looks good. Debo's looking good. We'll see about the rest of the team. I don't love your quarterback, but you've been steady. You lost last week by a massive margin, and you're down ranking because at the end of the day, if you put up less than 80 points, you're not a top 3 team. Coming in at rank 3, we have Sean's team. Sean's getting Jamar Chase back. Last few weeks have been a little rough for him. He's like 1-1. I don't remember how week 10 went, but I think he won by a decent margin. But at the end of the day, I think Kamara's shown himself a little bit. He's not that like cutthroat of a running back as years past because that offense just blows. Tua is not like a guaranteed stud, and I don't know, just team feels like you're going to have some weeks below 100 or slightly barely below, and but we'll see. When Jamar Chase comes back, I could be wrong. I'm ranking you at 3 because I don't know when he's coming back, and also your team's been a little boomer busty. Coming in at rank 2, we're going to give it to me. Now look, I know people are going to say, oh, Matt, you're ranking your team so high, but I have the most points for in the league. One of the hardest schedules. Terrible luck. When you look at the league record, when I play every single team, I'm the number 1 team, followed by Sean. But I'm ranking myself less than Ben because at the end of the day, I do not have 8 wins. And I might not even make the playoffs. But I think most people would consider my team a top 4 team. And I think it's the second best team in the league right now. Boy, do I wish I had Cooper Kupp because I'd rate myself number 1 right now. But because I don't have Cooper Kupp, Ben, I'm sure everyone loves hearing Cooper Kupp at this point. Ben, rank 1, Hollywood Brown's coming back. He's getting Waddle off a bye. Team's healthy. Other than Fields, we will see. But at the end of the day, he's got like 3 weeks to get his team healthy, make the appropriate moves that he needs to make. And he's got the best team in the league, boys. What can I say? Congrats, Ben. You pretty much secured a playoff spot and, honestly, a bye week. So maybe we'll see you in the playoffs. This was Power Rankings. We'll slide over to predictions, and we'll get the fuck out of here. Matchup 1. We have Ben's approval, a.k.a. potentially Mitch, because he's a quitter, versus Rip Tail. Mitch, just kidding. I love you if you're watching. This matchup's going to be a tight one. This is playoff elimination matchup. You lose this week, you're out of the playoffs. It's just as simple as that. All hands on deck. I don't know if anyone has any buys. No buys across the board. This week feels like a James win. So I'm going to give it to James. We're going to mark it down. Matchup 2, Matty Ice, a.k.a. Serial Vapist, versus the Trade God, a.k.a. Reading God, a.k.a. the boy who cried wolf, calling everything rape. Well, look here, Max. The only thing getting raped this week is my butthole, because for whatever reason, I just have a feeling my team will not do great this week and your team's going to blow up. Unfortunately, the Kenneth Walker trade that I made was probably not needed, and because of that trade, I may lose this week. Jalen Hurts and Kenneth Walker are much better than Miles Sanders and Patrick Mahomes, which you had before. But at the end of the day, as always, I will root for my team. This is going to be the Zeke vs. Pollard show, but I am going to vote for my team. So, Matty Ice, congratulations on your dub. Matchup 3, we've got Sean, a top 3 team. in my power rankings versus Casey, a top 6 team in my power rankings. Holy shit. This matchup's really close. Two really good teams. I kind of feel like this is the week that Amari Cooper has a poop show. And look, Mike Williams isn't probably going to play. Jeff Wilson's been great, but Sean has Tua. So if Tua does good, Jeff Wilson does bad. This feels like a get-right game for Tua because last week is all about the run game. So I'm going to go with Sean on this one, and I'm going to mark it down as a dub for the boy. Matchup 4. We've got the Schaefer Street Bandit versus Eric. And look, I said at the beginning of the year, Eric, I vote for your team a few times. You fucked me every time, so I will never vote for your team. And for those reasons, Andy gets the dub. Andy, you win this week, and I think you have a secured spot in the playoffs. I'm not 100%, but I think at 7 wins, you're almost guaranteed, just based on process of elimination, teams playing each other. Everyone can't win. Congrats. Matchup 5. Racism takes on saltiness. And I think salt tastes better than racism. But the problem is, racism will be triumphant. And sadly, it's just because Eric's team is just a lot better than Scott's team. Eric's team last week was a little rough. His running back situation scares me a little bit with Michael Carter and all that. But it looks like he doesn't have to play him this week. He's got Evans back in. He's got A. Jones. Njoku's a good pick. I'm going to go ahead and say that's Eric gets to win. Racism prevails. Scott, you dirty bastard. You should have stopped racism when you had the chance. Clearly, we all know what's up. Final matchup. It's the 1 seed versus J Bay Bay. And look, everyone thinks this might be a slaughter. I don't. This feels like a close game. A very close game. And with Mixon potentially being out with a concussion, while this is early, I am going to go ahead and give this matchup to Ben. Simple as that. That was the predictions with Matty Ice. And at the end, let's talk real quick about last week. I'm 53% in the year. I went 3 for 3 last week. James went 1 for 6, or 1 and 5. Disgraceful showing. So James owes $5 to the pot, along with the $3 from last week, bringing the winning total to $8 so far. And let me just say, this is getting expensive for the kid. I'm not going to say he needs to take out a second mortgage, but with inflation going up, I'm thinking Amelia might be getting the off-brand baby food, if you know what I'm saying. Not that Gerber shit. That sucks for her, but it's awesome for me because I had to fix my hot tub, and I've spent a lot of money so far, and boy, could I use those $8. So, good week, good week, good week. Max, I'm talking to you right now. Good luck this week. I truly hope you do good. I hope I do a little bit better. And for the sake of sportsmanship, I would like to propose an offer to you. If I win this week, I pick your team name for the rest of the season. If you win, you pick mine. Only thing it can't have is racism. Like, I got to be able to show my parents the team name. Just kidding. No. You just, if it can't get you fired from work. Wait, no. We'll figure out the details. We'll have say over if it's too dirty or not. But if you're in, let me know. I think that'd be fun. This is the name matchup battle of the year. Max versus Matt. Love to see it. Good luck this week to everybody. Peace. I'm your host. Out. Matty Ice.